This is ABC7 News at 6. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Haley is on assignment tonight. Well, we don't have a countdown clock, but we do know that the third and final presidential debate of the election season is now just 3 hours away. Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton and Republican nominee Donald Trump are set to face off again, this time in Las Vegas. Trump's numbers in the polls slumping in the wake of multiple allegations of sexual misconduct, which he denies. Clinton, meanwhile, has spent days off the campaign trail preparing for tonight, and she faces new questions over more WikiLeaks email releases. After two contentious debates, the Commission on Presidential Debates hopes voters get serious answers tonight.
The next president, whoever he or she is, has a heavy load to carry to get back to having comedy and the two parties working together for the best interest of the American people.
The debate will be moderated by Fox News anchor Chris Wallace. You can watch it right here on ABC7 Live beginning at 9 o'clock. We'll have a recap and analysis immediately following on our 11 p.m. newscast. And while the election is less than 3 weeks away now, this was a crucial day for the supervisor of elections in Sarasota and Manatee counties. They put all of their voting equipment to the test. ABC7's Rick Adams has more.
It was a very busy day for the supervisor of elections in Manatee County, and the same held true for Sarasota County. Voting machines and tabulating equipment were put to the test for accuracy.
By statute, we test each and every piece of equipment.
The results are in, and the machines in both counties passed with flying colors, meaning it's now ready for the actual results of the election in 3 weeks.
At the beginning of every election, we want to verify that every piece of equipment we have is truly counting the ballots the way that they're cast, and that then after each of those are counted, that they're tabulated correctly.
Folks that we talked to around the Suncoast are happy to hear about the steps being taken to make sure the voting process runs smoothly.
We need to secure our system. It's important to make sure that every vote counts.
And for Meyer's 20-year-old daughter, McCare, she has extra reason to be thrilled. It's her first time voting.
I'm excited. I'm happy to be voting this year. I think it's really important to be voting, especially in this year's election.
Whether it's a first-time voter like McCare or a long-time voter, Michael Bennett tells us he and his team take great pride in making sure every vote counts.
On Trump's comments, the election rigged. It is absolutely rigged, okay? We rig it to make sure that the results are done correctly.
That's Rick Adams reporting. Early voting in Florida gets underway this coming Monday, while the general election is on Tuesday, November 8th. Tens of thousands of Floridians made the most of the voter registration deadline being extended. Florida's Secretary of State says nearly 37,000 applications were submitted since October 11th, and another 26,000 were in the verification process. The 11th was the original deadline, but a federal judge sided with the Florida Democratic Party that called for an extension because of people having to evacuate and state government buildings temporarily closing during Hurricane Matthew. The extension ended yesterday. Governor Rick Scott had said residents had had enough time to register before the storm, but he did not voice opposition against an extension once the issue went to court. A new Gallup poll shows 60% of American adults support the legalization of marijuana. That's a record high. In comparison, just 31% supported it back in 2000. The poll comes as Florida voters will decide on the November ballot whether to permit medical marijuana. Now, Amendment 2 needs at least 60% to pass. A poll released last month from the Florida Chamber of Commerce shows the initiative has more than 70% support. We're hearing tonight from the next superintendent of the Sarasota County School District. Todd Bowden will be taking over the top spot in the next few months, with current superintendent Lori White retiring in February. Among the three remaining candidates, Bowden was the only one already working within the district. He's been here for nearly 10 years and is the current executive director of Career, Technical, and Adult Education. Bowden, who has a PhD in education, says he will learn from Lori White, the current superintendent, but he also has plans of his own for the district.
But I firmly believe that elementary education is the foundation of our school district. We have a model that we've worked out at Alta Vista, and it's time to get that into all of our Title I elementary schools.
The candidates were interviewed both publicly and privately before the board came to its decision. Bowden's first day in the job will be March 1st. Let's get a check on our weather right now with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob, nice day out there, a little warm.
Yeah, but not too bad, Scott, with that lower humidity around. And it's at 43% right now, which makes it feel comfortable out there. East winds at 17. If we could keep our summers like that with temperatures in the 90s and this kind of dew point temperature would be quite nice. The pressure 29.95 inches. That is holding steady, and we have just a few clouds around. What we do have is a cold front on the way. You can see it slicing through parts of the central U.S. Behind it is where fall is, and that fall is going to eventually come here, but it won't be here until it looks like mainly on into the weekend. Saturday, we'll start to see some cooler temperatures, but it's on the way, folks. It won't be long, and you'll feel it, especially, as I mentioned, over the weekend. More on that in a little bit. Temperatures into the mid-70s by 11 o'clock. Clear skies anticipated through the night, and we aren't looking at any rainfall around here at all as a result of this dry air that's in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere. A large swath of it covering much of Florida, all the way down into Cuba and into the Northwest Caribbean. And we do have a tropical system developing, a pretty good chance of that happening east of the Bahamas. We'll talk more about that and this day in history when a pretty strong hurricane was moving right through the Suncoast. Details on that in a few minutes. Scott, back to you.
Okay, Bob, thank you. A program that helps recently released inmates get back on their feet in Florida could be in jeopardy once again. Back in May, Bridges of America reached an agreement to continue operations in both Manatee and Broward counties for at least 2 more years. Its facility in Manatee County is called Bradenton Bridge and serves as a transition and work release facility for female prison inmates. The organization was notified by the Florida Department of Corrections that its state contract will now be rebid. That change could reallocate funds from the facilities to programs inside prisons and ultimately lead to closures. Bridges of America has filed a formal protest. Bradenton condo owners continuing their fight to keep their homes from an investment group. Straight ahead, the latest on the emotional battle playing out in the Palm Cove community. And then later, another potential use for drones, what transportation officials want to use those devices for. That's straight ahead.
Download ABC7's free all-new news app at your app store today.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beauty Rest, Eye Comfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
They took that stress and that tension when I was particularly feeling very bad after that nasty car accident, and it was such a relief to know that I didn't have to bear that burden alone, that I had help.
Our goal is to not just get a satisfactory settlement on their case. We want them up on their feet, happy again. They've gotten their life back.
Being the caregiver for my husband is truly a blessing, but sometimes it's easy to lose a part of myself. To be my best, for him and for me, it's important to have time to be able to recharge. When I called Tidewell Hospice, they gave me the chance to do just that. They helped me find the time to care for myself, all the while with the peace of mind of knowing my husband is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
The battle for about 30 Bradenton condo owners to stay in their homes continuing today. Palm Cove residents are now facing eviction because an investment group wants to turn their units into apartments. ABC7's Bobeth Yates joins us now with a follow-up to the story we first brought you yesterday. Bobeth?
Yes, as representatives of the investment company voted to oust those condo owners say they're just not ready to give up yet.
I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me. I thought that America was based on laws and protecting people, and that big business was, has a certain procedure to follow, and it doesn't seem like that's what they're doing here.
Scott Schrader is one of the Palm Cove condo owners being forced to sell his unit and move. The Raleigh Family Trust, a Minnesota-based company belonging to Siesta Key residents James and Jonathan Riley, purchased hundreds of units in the Palm Cove community, giving them the majority vote to do what they wish. And that wish is to convert these condos into apartments.
Basically, the plan says we have to get out of here within 90 days.
In a Wednesday meeting, attorneys representing the Raleigh Family Trust informed the remaining condo owners that their units will be appraised and a price will be set for their buyout. But the remaining condo owners say those prices will undercut what their actual home values are.
This is just plain greed is all it is. I mean, they don't even, they want to take over, but they don't even want to pay us what the Florida statute says I ought to get.
Florida Statute 718 was put into effect to protect condo owners like those in the Palm Cove community. The measure was sponsored by Pinellas Representative Chris Sprouse, who says the law is not being used correctly in this case.
I think what's happening here is truly a shameful attempt to circumvent the will of the legislature to protect these condominium owners.
Sproul says the legislation's goal was to give condo owners added protection from investors, so those companies could not force people out of their homes without paying them enough.
This law should cover these individuals, and I think what's happening is they're trying to get around the law and not use the rights that we put in or compensate these people correctly, and they should.
But it's not just the compensation many owners are worried about. They're simply just not interested in selling.
I'm not so much worried about losing my place as I am being able to find another place that's going to be of equal, where I'm going to live the same lifestyle. That is my main concern.
Now, many of those condo owners say they now plan to take legal action. Meanwhile, representatives from the Raleigh Family Trust did not want to speak to us on camera for this story. Back to you.
All right, Bobeth, thank you. Up next, Bob will have some hurricane history from right here on the Suncoast. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School, serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
Looking for carpet? Look no further. Minnesota Flooring has Smart Strand carpet as low as $1.79 per square foot. Installed, no add-ons or extras. Unbelievable? Minnesota Flooring can have in-stock carpet installed in your home in 48 hours for as low as $1.99 per square foot. Don't miss these prices. Visit Minnesota Flooring today.
Just because someone grows older, does that mean they have to grow apart from their friends or from the things they love to do? With Right at Home, it doesn't. Right at Home's professional team thoughtfully selects caregivers to help with personal care, housekeeping, meals, and most of all, staying engaged in life.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are you ready to go?
Oh, I sure am.
We can provide the right care right at home.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, you'll always get the most for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And right now, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet. A new 2017 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Or get 0% financing. Complimentary maintenance included at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Types of timber, cuts of meat, cooking times, temperatures, rubs, seasonings, sauces. You name it, they know it. That's what makes them who they are, Sonny's Pitmasters. And proud of it. Come get some baby back ribs at Sonny's Barbecue. On their own or paired with favorites like jalapeno cheddar hot links or pulled or sliced pork plus 2 sides and bread. Sonny's Barbecue. Local pit masters since '68.
Gold fever has once again swept the nation. And everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. Introducing the $5 million Gold Rush Doubler. We're doubling cash prizes for over $752 million in payouts. And 36 prizes from $1 million to $5 million. The Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
So on this day, a few years ago, it was pretty tough for folks here.
And people talk about it all the time. We never get hit here. You know, we got a safe coast. We do get hit here, and it's not blessed by the Indians. I mean, there are chances that we do get hit. It's difficult for a hurricane to hit west central Florida into Manatee and Sarasota counties, but it did happen back in 1944. And this late in the season, too. I always say October's tough for us here on the west coast of Florida. So on October 12th, the storm was developing south of Cuba, and then it worked its way north and then eventually toward the northwest, and it strengthened to a Category 2 storm by around the 14th, and then it made it to a Category 4 storm just before it hit Cuba, and then a Category 3 storm right into west central Florida. Now, it did get downgraded to a Category 1 just before it hit, but it still maintained that Category 3 status storm surge. So again, that storm surge made it all the way into US 301 in Sarasota, where US 301 and 41 come together there by the Ford dealership. That's how far inland the Gulf of Mexico came. And they did a research on this storm. It's now the 7th costliest hurricane ever if you factor in today's dollars. And it would have been $19 billion worth of damage here if that same storm would have hit today in today's dollars. So an amazing storm with gusts up to 120 back on this date, October 19th, 1944. So it can happen. Nothing like that today. Boy, beautiful beach shot from Barbara. Appreciate that. And a few fair weather cumulus clouds out there. And the Casey Key webcam showing calm conditions out there in the water as with that easterly flow. And it always means nice conditions there for boaters. Although the winds and seas will start to pick up a little bit as we head into the weekend. Now, as far as the weather headlines read, tropical system developing to the east. So there is another one popping up. Warm again Thursday. High temperatures past 2 days into the 90s. And looks like again today. But there is some relief on the way. We talked about it earlier. A cold front is going to make its way through. Right now, some showers along the east coast. Not much going on here. All is quiet, and it will stay that way, too, it looks like, through the night. 87 degrees currently, and the dew point 62. The winds are out of the east, rather brisk. It's 17 miles an hour. And the high today did manage to get to 90, above average of 85. 92 the record, and set back in 1971. This morning's low was 3 degrees above the average, and it's 70 degrees to start the day off. For the month now, 2.64 inches of rainfall. Temperatures right now, 86 in Tallahassee, 77 in Jacksonville, 81 now in Orlando, and 84 in Miami. Around the area, temperatures still into the mid-80s to lower 80s. 81 in Arcadia, I should say, in Punta Gorda, 83 Northport, Inglewood at 84, 2 degrees warmer in Venice, and the Gulf of Mexico now at 80 degrees, Cortez at 87, and Bradenton at 88 degrees. Well, the forecast tomorrow looks pretty much like we saw today. High temperatures at the beaches in the upper 80s and even low 90s inland. And in the tropics, well, we talked about this earlier, the tropical system trying to pop up, or possibly subtropical and then becoming tropical in nature. Reconnaissance aircraft was expected to investigate the area today. They canceled that, and they have a scheduled fly-in tomorrow to see if indeed a surface low has developed here. There's definitely a low pressure, broad area of low pressure, and if it were to develop, it would be Otto, the next named storm up, and it would move off to the north and then eventually to the northeast because of that cold front I talked to you about. That cold front will keep it off the U.S. coast, it appears. And water temperature is still very warm in the northwest Caribbean, so we'll have to wait and see if that front makes it all the way down there to cool things off, to shut that off as well as far as tropical development goes. But here comes the front. This is Friday at 6 o'clock. Looks okay for football Friday night. Now, there may be a few brief showers around late, but for the most part, this tropical system staying well to the east. Temperature 63 in Buffalo now, Chicago at 65, and now in Denver it's 59 degrees, Wichita at 76, Omaha 67, and 90 now in Dallas. Well, as far as the boating forecast goes, it looks like this. Northeast winds 10 knots, and the winds and seas will be picking up as we approach the weekend, so keep that in mind if you have some weekend boating plans. Low tide at 9:20, another one at 11:28. Tonight, expect mostly fair skies, 69, and warm conditions. And then for tomorrow, morning sunshine, a few clouds in the afternoon, 87 your high. The extended forecast does call for breezy but cool conditions over the weekend. High temperatures below average. Scott?
Sounds great. Thank you, Bob. Drones helping manage traffic crashes? Well, it could become a reality here in Florida. The Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles wants to create a pilot program with the Department of Transportation to use these drones in managing and clearing the scene of accidents. For that to happen, a 2013 state law that prohibits unmanned aerial vehicles from gathering evidence would need to be changed. The proposal will be discussed with Governor Scott next week and could be put in front of state lawmakers for next year's legislative session. A big upgrade for a popular community park in Venice. Wellfield Park is now the first outdoor field in Sarasota County that has LED lighting, and more improvements are on the way there. The croquet field is getting 2 more fields added onto it. That will allow more of the croquet club's 200 members to play at the same time. It will also pave the way for teams to hold larger tournaments there.
We can only accommodate 48 people at a time. So that means half the group is sitting out while one game is played, and it makes for a very long afternoon.
Work on the croquet field will be finished soon, and the City of Venice will have a ceremony tomorrow evening to show off the new LED lighting.
Hi, I'm Linda Carson. Coming up, we'll tell you where to get into the Halloween spirit and find the great pumpkin.
Coming up, what we've learned about Donald Trump's strategy on that debate stage tonight, who he's bringing, who Hillary Clinton is now bringing, the massive gas explosion, people smelled gas before, many injured tonight, and the plane crash into an American neighborhood. Coming up.
If you have a suspicion for harboring prostate cancer, we have a way of diagnosing by using an exquisite instrument called three-dimensional color flow power Doppler ultrasound. Using this system, we can identify abnormalities within the prostate that you could otherwise never detect. The Dotoli Cancer Center is the only center in the southeastern United States which has this technology. If you have prostate cancer, we will find it.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Your home is the largest investment you have. So when you're looking for furniture, window treatments, and accessories, from America's top brands like Henredon, American Leather, and Hunter Douglas, the only place you need to go is Bacon's. Quality, service, price. Bacon's Furniture and Design, Sarasota.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WinGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WinGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
Rose takes her volunteering for Tidewell Hospice very seriously. But she knows how to have fun, too. And that's what she brings when we're invited to visit patients as part of Tidewell's pet therapy program. People love to see her. She really brightens their day. She makes people smile. And in end-of-life care, a smile can be a wonderful gift. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Up north, you know it's fall when it's time to put on a jacket. Here on the Sun Coast, we know it's fall when the Pumpkin Fests start rolling out. ABC7's Linda Carson joins us now with In the Spotlight. Linda?
In the spotlight tonight, the Hunsider Farms Pumpkin Festival. Hunsider's raises a lot of important crops, but it's the pumpkins that will draw thousands and thousands of people there over the next couple of weekends. Over the last 25 years, the Hunsider Pumpkin Festival has become a beloved Suncoast tradition.
It's really the closest thing you can get to fall in Florida.
Yes, there are tons of pumpkins here, every shape and size, and there are shows for the whole family.
We have a motocross show, a BMX show, the Wall of Death motorcycles. They like go around this like cylinder wall. They ride their motorcycles on it. We have a bear show.
There's a hayride and a maze to wander through.
The maze this year, it's 7 acres. It can take up to 45 minutes to get through.
The Pumpkin Festival is also educational.
There's an agri-puppet show that's for kids. It teaches them about agriculture.
And there'll be lots of live music.
There's bluegrass, country. Some of the bands play like old 80s, old rock.
There's a whole section of games where the proceeds go to local charities.
Every single year you pay $1 to play a game, and all the money raised goes 100% to a charity. So we have like about 10 different charities out there, and over the past 25 years we've raised almost $500,000 for charities in our local area.
And they're really fun games.
You can do bowling. We have a pumpkin pong where you bounce the ball into like 3 little baskets. We have putt-putt golf, spin the wheel.
And lots more.
It's like bungee jumping, rock climbing, frog show, face painting.
And a wide variety of food and craft vendors.
There isn't anything else quite like it, so it's a really nice event.
And the petting zoo is bigger than ever.
So now we have a camel actually, and we have some lemurs and a couple monkeys, so it's growing for sure.
A real treat for Halloween with no tricks involved.
It's like the biggest type of festival thing that we have in this area, and it's like really fun for families to come out here and spend a full day for only like $20 for adults, and if you have kids then it's like super cheap to come out here and have a fun full day of fall festivities.
The 25th annual Hunsinger Pumpkin Fest, that's hard to say, is this Saturday and Sunday and next Saturday and Sunday from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. What a fun time.
Yeah, and the weather will be perfect for it.
Timing of the front is
the
perfect
crowds.
for that too, yeah.
World News Tonight with David Muir is next. Don't forget the debate at 9 o'clock live tonight here on ABC7.